Hello everyone and welcome back to our English B to C. Thank you so much for following along day by day. Today is a special day, episode 10. 10 episodes in 10 days. And to celebrate, I'm excited to introduce a new voice to our podcast. Please welcome Ben.
Thank you, Lily. Hi everyone, my name is Ben and I'm very happy to join this podcast today. If you are new here, let me explain the format. In each episode, we tell the same story 4 times. First at the B1 level, then at B2, next at C1, and finally at C2. This way, you can listen, compare, and grow step by step in your English journey. Today's topic is how to stay confident in any situation. So let's begin. I want to tell you a simple story about confidence. Last year, I had to give a short talk in front of my class. At first, I felt nervous. My hands were shaking. But I remembered one tip: stand tall and smile. I took a deep breath, looked at my friends, and started speaking. The more I spoke, the more confident I felt. In the end, everyone clapped, and I was proud of myself. Now let's hear the same story again, but this time with more detail and reflection at the B2 level. Last year, my teacher asked me to give a short presentation in front of the whole class. At first, I felt very nervous. My hands were shaking and I could feel my heart beating fast. Then I remembered some simple advice: stand tall, smile, and breathe deeply. So I stood up straight, looked around the classroom, and began to speak. At first, my voice was a little shaky, but slowly I became more comfortable. I realized that my classmates were listening with interest, not to judge me. By the time I finished, I felt much stronger and more confident. When the class clapped for me, I understood that confidence grows when you take action, not before. Let's move forward. Now, you will hear the same story again at the C1 level, with richer vocabulary and deeper analysis. When I think back to last year, one memory stands out clearly: the day I gave a presentation to my class. Although the task was small, the pressure I felt was enormous. My hands trembled, and my heartbeat echoed in my chest like a drum. At that critical moment, I remembered a piece of advice: your body can shape your mind. So I straightened my back, lifted my head, smiled, and inhaled deeply. As I began to speak, my voice wavered at first, but gradually it grew stronger, carried by the realization that my classmates were genuinely engaged, not waiting for me to fail. By the end, the fear had transformed into energy. Their applause was not just for the speech, but for the courage to stand there. That day, I discovered that confidence is rarely a starting point. It is the result of action. Finally, let's listen to the most advanced version, at the C2 level. This will sound closer to how native speakers might tell the story, with natural flow, nuance, and deeper reflection. Confidence is often seen as something you either have or you don't. But I learned the opposite during a simple class presentation. I remember the tension in my body, the trembling hands, the rapid heartbeat, the voice that almost refused to come out. And yet, by shifting my posture, standing tall, smiling, breathing deeply, I discovered that confidence can be summoned, almost like striking a match in the dark. The words began to flow, and with every sentence I felt a subtle transformation. The audience was no longer a threat. They became companions in my story. When the room filled with applause, I realized a profound truth. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act while fear is still present. And in that action, fear slowly dissolves. And that brings us to the end of episode 10. You've just heard one story told at 4 levels: B1, B2, C1, and C2. Notice how the vocabulary, grammar, and style changed step by step. That is how you can build your English skills too, layer by layer, level by level. Thank you so much for joining us today and for celebrating this milestone with Lily and me. Keep practicing, keep listening, and stay confident in your English journey. See you in the next episode.